Hi. Come here. Hi. Hello. Hello. And welcome. This is going to be my new YouTube channel. I am very nervous. I don't know what I'm doing, and we're gonna go through this together. I apologize in advance for any scheduling changes, any audio changes, any video changes, any changes, background changes in now or in the future. You gotta bear with me while I figure all of this out. But I am excited, and I hope you're excited too. For those of you who don't know, my name is Savannah Alexandra. I'm a professional character designer and illustrator, and I've done a variety of work, including shows and movies like FX's Archer, America the Motion Picture, or PBS Kids' Jelly Ben and Pogo. I've also done commercials and bumpers for Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and PBS. Right now I'm working in the world of toys, which is really fun, and I've done some work for Mattel, and currently I'm doing work for Spin Master Toys, and they've been lovely to work for. I really love working with them. Most of you are probably familiar with my social media presence, I guess. I am the Savannah behind Savannah Alexandra Art. I like to do more body positive pinup work, illustrations around nerdy things, and I have a really strong interest in fashion, so a lot of my work also revolves around that as well. I especially love vintage fashion. I collect a lot of it and wear most of it. I have clothes from the 30s all the way up until now, but most of the clothes that I wear are from the 50s and 60s. A lot of that vintage fashion permeates into my work because it's just all-consuming. I love it so much, and I love just the vintage aesthetic in general. I live in a 1962 ranch, and I live with my husband and my 2 dogs and cat. I can introduce you to the first one. This is Drakkar. He's a big cuddle bug. He loves to just sit on your lap, and he loves kisses and hugs, and his favorite thing is just sitting here. He also has 1 brain cell. He is not very smart, but he's very sweet and very lovable. We adopted him a few years ago. He's a retired show dog, and he's 9 years old. And Gengar, come here, Gengar. Come. Gengar, come. Come here. Come here. Okay, come here. Oh gosh. Alright, how are we gonna do? What? Okay. This is Gengar. He is, I got him as a puppy. He's 5 years old. He is named after Gengar the Pokemon, and he is Gengar. He's extremely mischievous. He is a little butt, and he likes to get into trouble. He likes to get into trouble. He likes to explore, and he likes to do whatever he wants. He is very smart. We do agility. He's very well trained. He was in a commercial. When he wants to be good, he can be, but he likes being bad. And that's the problem with you, isn't it? Yes, it is. You like being bad, don't you? So I essentially have a bad boy who's sometimes good, and a good boy who's rarely bad. The cat, she will appear, but she's very elusive. Hi, BT. BT is the first animal I got when I moved down for school. Her name stands for Butt Touch, and the reason why she's called Butt Touch is I found her as a kitten when she was about 4 weeks old outside under somebody's outdoor fridge. I wasn't going to keep her. I was just going to foster her and find her a home. as she lived with us, and like me and my roommates, whenever you'd be sitting on the floor, she would come over and start like patting your butt like this. I don't know. We would call her a little butt toucher, and then that became little butt toucher, then little butt touch, then little BT, and now BT. So that's how it's evolved. You might see my husband every now and then, but for the most part, he probably won't be in the videos. So why do I want to make a YouTube? Well, first and foremost, I get a lot of questions all the time on Instagram and Facebook and stuff on how I do certain things. Like, how do you do like your vintage style in your artwork? Or how do you do this? Or how do you do that? How do you design your characters? How do you get to this point? And it's really hard to explain it in just like a little Instagram comment. And it's so much easier to make a video about it. And I've been wanting to make a video about that type of stuff for a while. So I feel like having a YouTube channel, I'll be able to just do more of those things and show you, as opposed to just typing it out and being like, good luck. Like, I can actually show you, like, this is it. These are the steps. This is what I do. Some things that I'm probably going to explore while I'm doing YouTube are process videos, artist interviews, tutorials, fashion videos, puppets information, and maybe hair videos, and more. But yeah, for the second part of this video, I wanted to do like a really small question and answer. I also want to specify that I'm not doing any puppets questions because I plan on doing an entire YouTube video about it. I want to do a whole video on who they are, what inspired them, how I got to where they are today, who each girl is, you know, just all of that, just like a whole puppets master video. That's what I want to do. That way I can answer all of the questions, the whole gambit. And then I also plan on doing some videos regarding my journey, because it wasn't straightforward. It was very kind of all over the place. I think it'll be good to explain how I got to where I am now and where I plan on going next. But let's get into it. Let's get into the questions. The official Josie asks, how are you feeling? Which is a very good first question. And the answer is very nervous. I don't know if you can tell. I feel very nervous. Yep, I don't know. I am very nervous. GG Illustrates asks, who's your favorite vintage artist from the 1920s to the 1980s? I think this also compounds with another one. I got a few other questions asking who are my favorite artists or who are my artistic inspirations. I think I'm going to combine them into this question, and I'll rattle off a few. I like Fred Moore. He was a character designer at Disney in the 1940s. He did a lot of the Centaurette designs. I like Tex Avery, who I'm sure you guys all know in Looney Tunes. I like Chuck Jones, who was also somebody who worked on Looney Tunes, and he did Tom and Jerry. Shane Glines, who I think worked on the Batman series, but he's more recent, like he's still alive and kicking. George Petty, who is a pinup artist from the 50s. I can't really think of anything else. Misshapen Bread asks, what are some of your inspirations for your art style? Definitely the artists I listed off. I look at a lot of pinup artists through the 30s to the 50s. That's about my favorite time of pinup work. I'm also really inspired by early Disney and other vintage cartoons like Betty Boop. My mom would go to tag sales a lot when I was really young, and she would get just random cartoon VHS tapes. A lot of the times they were VHS tapes that were movies from the 30s and 40s and 50s. I watched those all the time. My favorites were Fantasia, especially the Centaurette scene. I actually have 2 original frames from the 1940 Fantasia, from the Centaurette scene, hung up in my hallway. They're like my prized possession. I also watched Gulliver's Travels all the time, which is a cartoon from the 30s. I think it's 1939. So I watched a lot of that. I also just watched a ton of Looney Tunes. Some other inspiration, obviously, is fashion. I'm really into fashion. I don't know if you can tell. It permeates a ton of my work. It really influences me because fashion is kind of like character designing yourself. Like, you're building a whole entire look. You're building how you're being perceived, and it's like character customization, except you're the character and you're customizing yourself. And it's my favorite. I love fashion because of this. Like, you can just create such a different vibe depending on what you wear, which is, I think, really, really interesting. Nina Laura Art asks for my favorite color combo. And I think my favorite color combo is pink and mint, or pink and teal. That's my favorite by far. It's such a fun, cheerful, like, comforting, summery vibe, I think. Clayton Amore asks, how did you start your creative journey and how long have you been an artist? This one is kind of tricky because I have been an artist since I can remember. Like, I've started my creative journey since I can remember. Ever since I could pick up a pencil, I've been drawing. I save all of my old sketchbooks, so I have work from like 4th grade and 5th grade with me. I have all of that all the way up until middle school and high school, and I think I actively decided to go to school for art. I decided maybe sometime in middle school. For a while it was between marine biology and art, but then I realized that marine biology had to do with a lot of math, and I am atrocious at math. I'm retired. I'm retired from math. I'm retired from numbers. Don't ask me to do any of it. Sorry, retired. But it's okay because art was my true love anyway. So, the Ghost Grandma asks, how did you find your art style? Also, please tell the doggo I love him. Okay, I will. She loves you. Is that okay? I found my art style really just through years and years of experimentation, and I don't even know if I've found my art style because I feel like an art style is ever evolving and ever changing and influenced by my biggest inspirations at that moment. Hello? Yes? Can I help you? My biggest inspirations at that time. So I think a lot of it is just taking in inspiration and looking at art that you really like and applying it kind of to yours. Not tracing and not copying, but, you know, taking influence from it. And I'll probably make a more in-depth video about that later. Maddie's Drawings asks, what do you do to keep motivated and how do you beat art block? I have a twofold answer because on one hand, I think it's very important to sometimes let your brain rest. You can't be drawing 24/7, and it's good to have a break. And sometimes the art block or losing a little bit of motivation is your brain being like, I'm on empty, I need to recharge. And that means that you need to like sit back and just take in new inspiration and not, you know, be dumping it out. If you think of your art brain as like a well, I mean, you can't give out if the well is empty, if it's dry. So how do you refill the well? Well. You refill it by taking in content and inspiration and things that you know, tickle your fancy, that strike you, that makes you really excited to do things. So I live on Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I have like hundreds of Pinterest boards because it's like the perfect mood board creation. You just make boards of things that you really like. As I'm scrolling through my board, I'm getting more and more inspired as I look through these like reference images, and then by the time I'm ready to draw, I'm like recharged with all of this new inspiration. What is it like designing toys? This is by Carrie Films a Lot. It's really fun. I really like it. I never expected to go into the working on toys, and it kind of happened. Like, both Mattel and Spin Master found me. I never sought them out. So it kind of just happened to me. I just kind of fell into it. But I love it. Like, I really, really like it. There's something really, really satisfying about creating something and then like being able to hold it in your hand at the end, which is really fun. One of the things that I've always really enjoyed about like the entertainment industry too, and this applies to the toys as well, is that it's really fun to see the whole creation process come all together to create this final thing at the end. Vintage Noir asks, what are your go-to brushes? It is the Retro Supply Company Ramen Brush Pen is my favorite inking brush. I really like the Jing Sketch Pack and the Jing Paint Pack. I think he's on Gumroad and his brushes are great. They're some of my favorites. Tanny Tunes asks, how do you make your doll heads, or where do you buy them? I'm gonna make a process video on how I make these dolls in general, so you'll see more in-depth stuff about that. I thrift them. I find them on eBay and Etsy. They're just vintage doll head parts that have been around in the 50s and 60s and 70s, and so I just buy those and I take the pre-existing paint off and repaint them. Pizza Pie 30 asks, how long did it take you to get where you are in your art career? That's a really good question. I guess it took me about 5-6 years. You know, I'm still discovering things. I'm still learning every day. I think COVID changed a lot, and I realized that I enjoy being an independent artist. I like the fact that I can explore my imagination without any rules. Like, there's nobody telling me what I can and can't do. And it's not limited by, you know, a certain vibe or mood or whatever for the show that I'm on, and that I can just go down the path, whatever path I want. And I really, really enjoy that, even though it's definitely the harder route. Definitely not easy, and there's a lot of trying to put together things and a lot of dependence on yourself, which can be really hard. I think that's it for the questions. I am really excited to start making other videos. I think my next video is probably going to be a puppets one, and then I think I'm planning on doing some process videos, some doll creation videos, how I do like the vintage style on my art, like a process video tutorial for that. Again, you're gonna have to bear with me while I explore my YouTube voice, while I figure out how I want to make these videos, what vibe I want to do. Like, backgrounds will change, things will change. Quality of video will change. Audio will change. Scheduling will definitely change. I'm gonna try to figure out what works, but we'll see. So just stick with me, bear with me, and give me a like, give me a subscribe if you liked it or if you're excited to see more stuff from me. And follow me on my other social media platforms. I'm Savannah Alexandra Art on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I have a shop that you can buy products through. I'm also planning on making videos and stuff about future drops. So yeah, just subscribe. Like, let's talk, let's hang out, leave a comment, let's chat, tell me what you're excited for, tell me what you'd like to see. But yeah, let's just keep this cool, let's keep it casual, let's keep it fun, let's keep it whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Enjoy. Well, I was gonna say my channel, but there's really only this video, so enjoy looking at this video and then my channel, and then eventually there will be more videos for you to enjoy. So for now, enjoy this single video and the blank part of YouTube that shows that I only have one video. Okie dokie. Goodbye. How do you end these things? See you later. Enjoy your evening or morning, afternoon. Enjoy your day. And enjoy it, right? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Very nice of you. Goodbye.